Hello everyone, bringing you another video on North Wales Anti-Invasion Defences. This one is about the Betws Garmon Defile, or the Plas y Nant Anti-Invasion Defences. Today we're going to be having a look at where the roadblock was, the two Spigot Mortar emplacements, and one of the pillboxes. To be specific, the Plas y Nant No.5 Pillbox. But before we get into the defences here, let's just give you some context as to why they're here in the first place. So, if we zoom out and have a look at the North Wales area, the main fear was that the Germans would invade neutral Ireland and Northern Ireland, and then from here they would invade via Holyhead, Anglesey and the Llyn Peninsula. The fear was that they would mount a large scale airborne parachute attack on Anglesey, hold Anglesey, bring in troops from Ireland, and then basically the fear was that they would either spread out into the more open country over here, where they would cause more damage, or they would hold the mountain passes and then build up troops behind the mountain passes and then push forward into the more vitally important areas of the country, the industrial areas, etc. And if you have a look, you have this big mountain barrier here with obviously the coastline, so it's a good place to defend if you're attacking. And then also you have Anglesey, which is, you know, cut off with the Menai Straits, and then the ocean on either side, and then they could hold that as well. So that was the main fear. So what they decided to do was defend the mountain passes. So from the bottom, we've gone over this before, I think, with the Rhyd Anti-Invasion Defences. This is the one we covered before. But behind this you have Western Command Stop Line number 23, which ran from Porthmadog up the Aberglaslyn Pass to Beddgelert, up from Beddgelert to Penrhydeurig, from Penrhydeurig to Capel-Curig, and then from Capel-Curig to Llynogwen, down the Nantlle Pass, through Bethesda, and ending in Bangor. And then behind that you have the Conwy Valley, with the Caernarvonshire mountain range here, and the Conwy River. This was Western Command Stop Line number 21, which started at Conwy, and then made its way up towards Betws Coed. And then you had this smaller defensive line here, which yet I don't have a name for it, but we'll just call it the Gwydir stop line for now, which had several defences, and obviously protected these two, or these important mountain passes. Obviously along the stop line you have several nodal points or strong points, anti-tank islands, etc. So you have the Nantlle Pass, that's coming up in another video hopefully. You have the Llanberis Pass up to Pass, Penrhydeurig. You have the Betws Garmon Defile, which we're covering today, going to Rhyd. Then you have the Nantlle Drws y Coed Defile, which we've covered before in the video. And then down here the Aberglaslyn Pass. So basically you're defending the mountain passes. Also, a bit further back, Blaenau Ffestiniog, you also have the Lledr Valley defences. I'm not too sure yet, but I think these defences in the Lledr Valley were part of Western Command Stop Line 21, but I haven't found any information to confirm that as of yet. So that was the reason why you had defences here in the mountain passes. I hope to go into a much detailed video later down the line, but that just gives you some context as to why it's here. So if we zoom back into Betws Garmon, this area came under 3rd Caernarvonshire Battalion's boundary area. So you had Caernarvon, Pennegroes down to Gerngoch, Clonogvawr area. And then you had Llanllifni, Pennegroes, Talsarn, Nantlle, etc. So that was the boundary of 3rd Caernarvonshire Battalion. The area that we're going to be looking at is 3rd Caernarvonshire Battalion B Company. This was B Company's territory. So B Company's headquarters, or company headquarters, was the drill hall in Pennegroes. And the defences at Betws Garmon, or Plas y Nant, came under No.5 Platoon, which consisted of the Talsarn, Nantlle and Rhyd sections. So these 3 sections formed a platoon, and they were responsible for the Drws y Coed Defile and the Betws Garmon Defile. The battle plan was, in the event of invasion, if there's enemy forces in this area, with the RAF Llandwrog being operational in being built in 41 and completed and operational in 42, there was a fear that the Germans would, obviously try and take that. So if you had Germans in this area and Germans moving across the Menai Straits in this area, obviously they had to have a battle plan. So the plan was that the Talsarn and Nantlle sections would hold the Drws y Coed Defile, and the Rhyd section and a section of the Waenvawr Home Guard, coming under C Company, 3rd Caernarvonshire Battalion, would hold the Betws Garmon Defile, or the Plas y Nant defences here. So that's why all of that's here. Excuse me. So what we're going to be looking at now is the one of the Spigot Mortar emplacements. So I'll take you there now. So here we have one of the Plas y Nant Spigot Mortar emplacements. This was moved when they redid the railway track. So originally it was down where that crossing point is there, before the bridge, which you can just about see there. So that crossing point there is where it was, and it was in a pit, dug in emplacement, flush with the ground. And then it's been moved here by the Welsh Highland Railway people. They also saved the one that's up at the Aberglasslyn Pass between the 2 railway tunnels. They saved that one as well. So it's not in its original position, but here's the first one, and the second one is over there. We're going to have a look at it now. Just quickly, this is me editing the video. I made a mistake here. I'm standing somewhere down here where they've moved the Spigot Mortar emplacement, and I claim in that video clip that the Spigot Mortar emplacement was originally here on this crossing point. That's incorrect. It was actually across the railway bridge and across the Afon Gwifrau over here, and it was right next to the 2nd Spigot Mortar emplacement. So here's the 2nd Spigot Mortar emplacement at Plas y Nant. You can see it right there. There's the pivot, or the pintle I think it's called. That's what the mortar sits on. And then that's the concrete base here. And it's in the dry stone walled pit here. And it overlooked the railway bridge. The roadblock was about there. It consisted of several hairpins, bent steel joists, anti-tank mines, and somewhere on that wall they had a flamethrower position. And then down the road a bit there were 8 flame fugas mines, so 2 batteries containing 4 barrels each. So this is obviously still its original position. The other Spigot Mortar position that I showed before was down there by the crossing points. You can see where it was. Obviously it's been moved to the I think it's called Plas y Nant halt, where the train stops. So now we're going to have a look at the Plas y Nant No. 1 pillbox, which is over here, and it had 1 Lewis gun, 4 riflemen and 2 runners. So let's go and have a look at that now. So we're at the rear of the Plas y Nant No. 2 pillbox. Unfortunately you can't get into this one. I believe the entrance is somewhere here and it's been blocked off. We're going to have a quick look now through the embrasures. It's a shame you can't get into this one. This is a really nice pillbox. Obviously it's I believe it's a modified Type 26 design, and obviously it's been camouflaged with stone, and they've built a stone wall, or they've built it near an existing stone wall so it blends in. And then this one looks down the railway track and up the road. So we're going to have a look through all of the embrasures now, but the entrance was, if we can get through all this, the entrance I think was there. Some of the stone cladding's come off. I think the entrance is some trench entrance here, but I'm not too sure. We'll go have a look now, but there's the back of it. So after a bit of a scramble down the wall, here's the front of the pillbox. 1 embrasure, 2nd embrasure, the 3rd, and these face the road here and the railway track. So there's the front of it, and I'll put photos up of what it looks like inside, and hopefully we'll be able to see the entrance. So there's a, let me go forward so you can see it a bit better. There you go, there's 1 embrasure, there's a 2nd one, and there's the 3rd. So originally when it was constructed it was a concrete pillbox, and obviously after they've done the concrete part they've just put stones around it, and it seems to be all loose stone. It's not attached to the concrete, as you can tell by the back of the pillbox. It's all fallen down. So let's go and have a look inside. Right, what I'm going to try and do is stick my phone through without dropping it. So the entrance is where I showed it. It's right there. There's the inside. There's a concrete embrasure plug. Stick it a bit more. Hopefully that's the floor. Hopefully that's not blurry, it probably is. Apologise for that. Here's the other embrasure. Let's try it again. Hopefully it won't go blurry, it's a bit difficult with one hand. we've just come back and it's confirmed that the entrance is right there. So the wall's going along here and it connects to the end of the pillbox, and the entrance is right there. So I'll put a photo up. Second spigot mortar emplacement, you have this one here, and then the other one a bit further forward on the railway bed. Obviously that wasn't there during the war, so, well, it was there 1940-41, but sometime after then, 42 I think, is when they took all the tracks away for scrap because there was no money to run the railway. And then obviously late 41, 1940 into 1942 was when the Blacker Bombard or Spigot Mortar came into service with the Home Guard. So that's when they started to dig up the positions, and obviously there's no railway track in the way. And that's what happened in the Aberglasslyn Pass as well. That's for another video. But we're going to have a look at the roadblock location now, and then I'm setting off. So I'm just going to head down now. There's the last view of the spigot mortar emplacement, and let's set off. Just quickly, because it's starting to rain and my phone's getting wet, but the roadblock was right here, and I think those are the tarmacked over hairpin sockets for the hairpins that went like that. So that was one row. The remains of one there, I think. Don't quote me on that though. Obviously you can tell it's a roadblock because it's right after the bend in the road. That's towards Rhyd. First spigot mortar emplacement was right there on the crossing point, and then the second one, which we've just been to, which was here. The pillbox. You can just about see it through the tree line. There you go. So there's the wall, and then there's the pillbox, and where that wall sort of goes up, that's where the entrance was. Obviously it's been blocked off. Another view of the roadblock there, where it was. Hopefully I can go into more detail in the video as it goes on. So there you go, Plas y Nant Anti-Invasion Defences, Betws Garmon. So just to carry on from the video, I'm going to go over what was at the Plas y Nant roadblock, the obstacles that were there. We're looking at a photo of the Pont Penrhyn main roadblock on Llandegai Road in Bangor. This is by the entrance to Pont Penrhyn, and you have the Tannerbryn Lodge entrance over here. So the Plas y Nant roadblock had 5 hairpins. So these things here, this is a hairpin or a bull-nosed hairpin rail in a single barrier, which means there's a single row of them in the middle of the block. And this is a hairpin socket. You can see it right here. It had 8 small, which is this one, 8 small bent steel joists, or 8x4 RSJs bent at 45 degrees. So it's basically an RSJ that's been cut and then bent at 45 degrees. And 9 large bent steel joists, which is this one here. And again, it's an 8x4 RSJ bent at 45 degrees. So just to go over it again, you had 8 of these small ones, 9 of these large ones. and then 16 anti-tank mine sockets, which are these here. I'll put a photo up of the ones at Llanberis.
Bigger than the Mark II is the Mark IV. It measures 8 inches across, 5 inches high, and has double the charge of the Mark II, about 8 pounds. Remove the tape and take off the cover, which when packed is not fixed to the spring straps. You can see the fuse pocket in the center of the body, sealed when new by a small piece of waxed paper for protection. And here is the fuse itself, larger than that for the Mark II and fitted with a safety pin, which must be withdrawn to make the fuse live. But before doing so, examine the shear wire. If this is damaged or missing, reject the fuse. To get the safety pin out, you'll probably need a pair of pliers, so see that each member of the fusing party carries a pair. As you wear, that won't do. Always put the pin in your pocket. You may be glad of it later, and anyway, why make a present of it to the enemy? Now replace the cover without putting too much pressure on it. It's the Boche you want to blow up, not yourself. The fuse operates very simply. The striker in the normal live state is held away from the cap by a shear wire. The shear wire breaks under pressure, and the striker is forced down by its spring onto the percussion cap. This sets off the detonator, the magazine, and the main filling. All these 3 mines are packed in wooden crates, 5 mines in each. Fuses are packed separately, 5 to a tin and 4 tins to a box.
So you had 16 anti-tank mine sockets here in sort of a staggered pattern. These still have the steel covers on top of them to protect them. And then you had 6 medium anti-tank cylinders, which is these ones. These were 2 foot 6 inches tall. And they had 7 small anti-tank cylinders. These were 2 foot tall. So this one's 2 foot tall and this one's 2 foot 6 inches tall. So that's what you had at Plas y Nant. You also had 1 mine wire rope, which I'm not too sure what that obstacle was, and you also had 1 trip wire rope, which was basically a steel cable that was strung across the road. So that's what, this is a bit of a bigger roadblock, but this is what the one at Plas y Nant would look like if it was all put together during the war. So that was the Plas y Nant defences. We looked at the 2 Spigot Mortar emplacements and the Pillbox, and we also went over the roadblock. What I didn't mention is that the roadblock 1942 onwards, for a brief period, was covered by a loopholed wall position for a flamethrower. So I'm not too sure if it was a Harvey flamethrower or one of those home guard flamethrowers, which were sort of made in a workshop somewhere, not the the officially made Harvey flamethrower. then further down the road you had 3 flame fugas mines. I'm going to go into a detail as to what those are in the next video on Bedd Gellert and the defences up towards Pennagorid, just briefly. I'd also like to thank Tim from Tim's YouTube channel or video channel. He actually recorded the train journey along this section of the railway, which I haven't seen before. I did see the video on the Aberglaslyn part where you go through the 2 tunnels and one of the Spigot Mortars on the corner, which was again thankfully saved by the Welsh Highland Railway people. They saved that when they were rebuilding it in the early 2000s. So he gave some information on when the railway track was taken up. So it is confirmed that it was in the middle of 1941 when I believe the Welsh Highland Railway didn't have enough money or coal as well, because coal was used for the war effort, and you know, things fell into disrepair, and the track was basically taken for scrap. And then 1942 is when you get the Blacker Bombard emplacements, and obviously now that this entire area is free from track, it makes a very easy route for enemy armour to go across. So I have seen mention of the bridge having a roadblock, or another part of the railway having some type of road or rail barrier. So possibly hairpins, actually. Those hairpin tracks that you saw in the roadblock section of the video, there were probably a row of those. And then obviously they've put the Spigot Mortar emplacement in the middle of the trackway here. That's what it used to look like in the early 2000s. So that was before 2003 when they were starting to... sorry, this is 2002. Before they did work on the area for the railway. You can just about see it here. Again, the video's in the the photo is in the video. You can just about see the Spigot Mortar emplacement there, and it was in a pit with either stones or sandbags going around it as further protection, and it overlooked the railway track and the roadblock itself on the road. So, yeah. So thank you to Tim. We did speak in the comment section of his video. I will link the video in the video description and in the pinned comment with the information that he provided. So, diolch yn fawr iawn, Tim. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. So, if you found the video interesting, leave a like. If you want to see more things like this, subscribe. And I will see you in the next video, which hopefully will be on Bedd Gellert. The Bedd Gellert Anti-Invasion Defences. And then after that, as a little teaser, that's going to be the defences of No.5 Platoon, C Company, 3rd Caernarvonshire Battalion, or the Cwmaglaw section, just outside Llanberis. So we're going to be having a look at those defences. So thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.